we are going to show you how to make the perfect idli dough that you can make every time. You can get, the important thing is the ingredients. The rice, make sure that you buy the idli rice. Urad, make sure you buy the full urad. I mean, you can buy it at a regular Indian store urad, most of the time it works fine. And then there are a lot of tricks and tips that will help you to make the consistently the same quality idli every time. Uh, I'm going to show you in this recipe we have 1 cup of urad and 5 cups of rice, idli rice. So I just going to give you the measurements that I found out really successfully useful. You use 5 cups of rice, that's approximately 1215 grams. The total amount of water you would need for grinding the whole rice is about 1.5 liters. That's 1500 ml. The urad, 1 cup is approximately 270 grams. The water you would need, total water you would need for grinding the urad is approximately 700 ml. So at the end you have to add a salt. You need about 40 grams of salt. I am giving the amount of water you need here. Mainly that's the amount of water that you have to have it ready before you start grinding. First you take the rice and wash it with water and then soak it for at least 8 hours. In the first time when you wash, make sure that you quickly wash. Do not let it sit for too long. The purpose of washing is just to remove any debris in it. You don't want to thoroughly wash the rice because whatever the coating on the rice, you would like to keep it. That's important for making the good idli. So you soak it in water maybe about 30 seconds to a minute. Just to rinse it thoroughly and take the water out and throw it out. And then you add approximately 1 liter of water into the rice for soaking it. After soaking for 8 hours, then you soak the urad separately. Urad generally you should not soak it for more than 1 hour. So when you're ready to grind, about an hour ago you start soaking the urad. Similarly, the coating on the urad is also very important. Make the good idlis. When you wash the urad, do the same thing. Just rinse it quickly and then drain the water. And then add about approximately 500 ml of urad for soaking. So let it soak for an hour. The urad and rice after soaking for the enough amount of time. Rice is soaked for at least 8 hours. Urad is soaked for approximately 1 hour. I did not use all the water that you would need for soaking. I'm going to keep some water that I would need for adding it down the road when I'm grinding. It's very important to add water slowly along the way when you are grinding. The rice and the urad approximately take about 20 to 25 minutes for grinding to a final consistency. So the water, whatever the water you need, it has to be added. The additional water that you need has to be added little bit at a time during the course of the grinding. I'm going to be demonstrating the idli making process using ultra grinder. That's a model, Perfect Plus model. One of the best grinders, tabletop grinders that was ever made. It's perfectly designed. Is one of the well-designed machine. I'm going to show it to you now. First you start the machine. I'm going to turn the machine on. Add the water, add a little bit of water first. And then start transferring the urad. So you start with approximately whatever half a liter of water in the beginning. Let it start grinding. Come back after about 5 minutes. That's the time that you should start adding water a little bit at a time. Out of that 750 ml, you add the 500 ml first to start, and then you add the remaining 250 ml for the whole process. beginning, when you add the urad, make sure that there's no urad left at the spatula. Make sure that you bring all the urad into the dough so that it will be completely mixed. Once in a while, use the spatula and scrap the drum and bring all the urad. You don't have to do it every time, but maybe once in 5 minutes. Approximately after 5 minutes of grinding, you can see that the dough is becoming thicker and thicker. So this is the time to add some more water. Just add a little bit water and then wait for that water to completely mix before adding more water. Now we added some water when we have still about maybe 20-30 ml of water to go. I'm sorry, 200 to 300 ml of water to go. I've been grinding approximately about 15 to 20 minutes right now. The grinding is pretty much done. And you can do the testing by grinding, done or not. Take a small amount and test it. See, when you do that, it should stick. If it is not sticking, then you need some more grinding. At this point, the grinding is done. We are going to transfer that into the collection vessel. Stop it and then you release the key. The grinding procedure is pretty much the same for no matter what grinder you use, but we found out that this grinder gives the best results in a short time. You transfer the contents into another vessel. It's a little bit messy, but that's very important. You have to touch it with your hand, to give the good fermentation. Now we have transferred almost all the urad into a collection vessel. You can see how it looks. It just looks like a butter, so smooth. Now we are going to start grinding the rice. We have the rice here ready to go. We are going to start adding the rice now. Again, we need about approximately 1.5 liters of total water. So we are going to add maybe half of the water when you start grinding. The remaining water has to be added a little bit at a time during the course of the grinding, which may take about approximately 20 minutes. Rice generally takes more water in the beginning, as we can see. It pretty much soaked up all the water. Now we start adding the water. We'll wait for it to become a little bit thicker. Partial grinding, then we'll start adding more water. Approximately halfway through grinding, we have been grinding this for almost 10 minutes. I think we have added enough water at this point, so we can continue to see how the water is holding up. If there is more water, we may have to add more water. But I think the total amount of water we need is 1.5 liters. So totally, when you make the dough, you would use 750 ml of water for the, or 700 ml of water for the urad, and then 700 ml of water for the urad, and then 1500 ml of water for the rice. Totally you would have about 2200 ml of water. So in the final dough, after you finish collecting, you should have approximately 60 to 65% water remaining the urad and rice. At this point, we are pretty much done. But we make sure that we have to have a really smooth rice dough to give this idli that's soft. I think we are ready to transfer now. At the end of the grinding process, how the rice dough is going to look like. You take a little bit of dough and then try it. You should not really feel any rice. It will be really smooth. It looks, you can see that there is no rice particles visibly. We are emptying the contents into the collection pot. Pretty much everything is transferred now at this point. Added the rice dough into the urad dough mixing. Now we are going to mix it, Before we mixing, you have to add the salt. This is approximately 40 grams of salt we are going to add. You have to thoroughly mix it. We have to bring all the urad from the bottom to the top, so we have an intimate mixture of rice and urad. Doing with a clean hand, with no gloves and spatula, it's going to be important. That gives that special touch. The mixing is pretty much done. You are going to cover it with a plate and then keep it inside the oven with the light on. Oven should be turned off, but the oven light should be on just to give you the warmth that for fermentation. I think we are done. See, that's how, when you look at it, it has to flow like that. That shows the right amount of water. It should not be too watery, it should not be too thick, but this right amount of, you can see it again, see how it flows. This is the idli made from that dough that we made yesterday. You can see that, it's so white and just like Maligappu, it's really a jasmine idli. It's soft, well cooked, it's perfect idli.